Now next is very important result. Prove that LP space is reflexive. So prove that LP space is reflexive. So this is very important result and almost expected for examination. So this is now to prove this theorem, to prove this result, prove this theorem, we will use the previous result. So what is the by previous theorem? By previous theorem, we know that the dual space of LP is equal to LQ, where P and Q are conjugate to each other. Similarly, dual space of LQ is equal to LP. So therefore, from this, to prove this result is reflexive, LP is, so it means its a double dual space should be itself. Now LP double star, this can be written as, this is equal to LP star and again its star. So by this result, LP star, which is equal to LQ, and this is LQ star. So what is LQ star? That again by previous theorem, which is equal to LP, where P and Q are conjugate to each other. Conjugate means 1 by P plus 1 by Q equal to 1, and 1 is less than equal to P less than infinity. So this satisfies this condition. So what we get? We get LP double star, which is equal to LP. So it means this LP space is a reflexive space. So this is a expected for examination. LP space is a reflexive space. Now next, on the basis of same idea, prove that the statement of theorem is, the space C01 means set of all continuous function on closed interval 0, 1 is not reflexive. So this is a second type of question. Sometime it was asked that give an example of non-reflexive space. So this question may be asked in this way, give an example of non-reflexive space. Yeah, it may be asked as prove that C01 is a non-reflexive space. Now proof of this results. So very carefully, so very important and tough proof. Now suppose we will prove it by contradiction. Suppose this space C01, which is not reflexive, so we will prove by contradiction. So suppose this space is not a reflexive. Now if it is a not a reflexive, then it means its double dual space is not equal to itself, right? So remember that way. Now consider, to prove, to contradict the result, so consider a scalar valued function, consider the scalar valued function. So as we discussed in the embedding theorem, so consider the scalar value functions f(x) defined by, so consider the scalar valued function defined by f of f(x) of f, which is equal to f of x, small f of x, for every small f belongs to C01. It means it is a continuous function, bounded continuous function on a closed interval 0, 1. So first define this function. If I define, so this is a continuous functional function, so this can be written as is that f(x), which is operated on f, so this is equal to f of x. So what is this? So this is equal to integration 0 to 1, because it is a functional on closed interval 0 to 1 and every continuous function are integrable, so it is integrable. So this is a f(x) into d of f of t. So this is a d of f of t. So this values, this is a derivative with respect to t, f of x, where f of t is the function of bounded variation. So this is the equation where f of t is a, here f of t, which is a function of bounded variation, function of bounded variation of bounded variation associate with the function, associate with the function x of t. So this is in parameter form, so here it is a x of t. So this function is f of t derivative, so this is a function associated with x of t. The function x of t and x of t which belongs to continuous function of 0, 1 interval, C01 interval. Now this is a given function that is given. Now the functional f(x naught) of f, so this is converted into f form. So this is equal to f of t naught plus 1 plus 0 minus f of t naught minus 0. So it is a t0 plus and t0 minus. So this is the equation number 2. Suppose this assign every functional f of t of bounded variation which assigns every function f of t of bounded variation its jump at variation its jump at so its jump at the point its jumps at the point. Right. So this is a function. Now clearly it is a additive. So this f x naught at point f, its absolute value, this is absolute value, f of t naught plus 0 minus f of t naught minus 0, this value, and this is less than equal to, by definition of variance of f, and variance of f which is equal to norm of f. So this is equal to norm of f, which shows that this function is bounded and its norm cannot be greater than 1. So this norm is this function is bounded and its norm is less than equal to 1. So this shows that this function f(x), f, this function is bounded and norm of f(x naught) is less than equal to 1 by taking the definition of norm. So which is a supremum of this when this is less than equal to 1. So this is a less than equal to 1. So remember this result. So first remember this result. Also, in addition to that, f(x) of f is a non-zero. That is a third point to remember. So this is a non-zero. So we consider, because it is a non-zero, so we consider f(x naught) at the point f1. If we consider with this point with f1t, this is a f1t which is equal to 0 and 1, where 0 less than equal to t naught and t naught less than equal to t and less than equal to 1. So this is a f1t. Now this is a continuous by 1, it is a continuous function, and x naught t can be find out as f of x naught at the point f. So this can be written as integration of 0 to 1 x0t and derivative of function f of t, this values. So this can be defined as equation number 1. Also it is a continuous function. So this is denoted as equation number 2. By 2 we have its value 0. So by 2 we have by 2 we have f(x) naught at the point f naught which is equal to 0 for f0 t which is equal to 0 to 1 and x naught t into dt, because f naught t is a continuous on function this. But on other hand f(x) naught at the point f0, so which is equal to 0 to 1 x naught t into derivative of f naught t, this values, and this is a 0 to 1 x naught t into dt, and this is a positive greater than 0 since x naught t is non-zero, because it is a non-zero. So this is equal to this values, so which is a contradiction. So which is a contradiction. So which is a contradiction. So if it is a contradiction, so our supposition is wrong. Then therefore C01 is not reflexive. It is not a reflexive. So in order to understand this result in a better way, so you just consult some two books. Number 1, Erwin Krzyk, Function Analysis by Erwin Krzyk, or Function Analysis by P.K. Jain. So these are the best book which give the best proof of this theorem. So this is just you need some extra effort to understand this theorem. So just go through the result, just go through the book Function Analysis by Erwin Krzyk as well as the Function Analysis by P.K. Jain.